Okay, so I just got home and I was pulling up, and as I was, my mail carrier was pulling up as well and had this little present for me waiting. I'm so excited to try it. I am on day 2 of my cycle. So this is my heaviest day and I am going to be giving the Hello Disc a try. I have tried menstrual cups in the past and they are not my jam. They give me internal pressure. They're too big. I've tried 2 different ones. That's all I was willing to sacrifice my funds on. But those two, neither one did me any good. One was the Diva Cup, and I can't even remember what the second one was. But because the Diva Cup felt so big, I went to a really small one. So I probably didn't size it right or whatever. But the Diva Cup said if you've had children, all of that, to get the size 1 or the regular size. And that's what I did. It didn't work. I went to the opposite end of the spectrum, tried to get something that was really soft and all of that, but that didn't work either. It leaked. I always got leaks. Like I said, it was internal pressure, and one time the suction even made my cervix swell. I'm pretty sure. Like I would get throbbing pain after taking it out, and it couldn't have been because I wasn't breaking the suction and then pulling it out. It was because it was attached. Maybe it had suctioned onto my cervix. I don't know, but cute little box has this inside, and then you turn it around and it has the instructions here with a little bag right here. So here's the disc, sit right here, and then the instructions are this long thing right here, and it says to boil it for 3 minutes. So I'll be back after I do that. So the disc is in. It was pretty simple to get it in. I did the long fold like they tell you to do. And for some reason in my mind, I thought I was going to be able to keep it completely closed. Like I cut my finger. Anyway, completely closed like this on the way in, but that did not happen, especially trying to do it one-handed. I folded it in half and I directed it into my vagina and kind of down and back. It didn't really go down. It kind of felt like it knew where to go. And then once I got it all the way in, I just pushed it up as far as it would go. I felt it go under my pubic bone. Next time I do that, I will definitely um, pay attention because I didn't realize like there's a texture on your pubic bone, and I don't like the idea of like just scraping past that. So just be more mindful of that next time I'm putting it in, but it's all a learning curve. But it didn't hurt. Nothing hurt. Nothing feels weird. I cannot feel it. When I put it in, I stood up. I put it in on the toilet, so I was sitting down. I almost started to try to do it standing up, but then the videos that I saw, she was on the toilet, so I was like, I better just do it the way the professionals are doing it, and so that's the way I did it, and it worked. Um, After I got it all the way in, pushed it all the way up, I like did a Kegel to make sure it was set, and I don't feel anything per se. I would say on a scale from 1 to 10, I probably feel something 0.5 just because for one, I know it's in there, and for two, I feel a little something, like a very little bit of something, and that's because I'm paying attention. But the test will be tonight. I plan on doing an exercise class, so we'll see if it leaks or if it shifts or any of the things. I'll probably end up wearing a pair of period panties just in case. But I'm very hopeful. I didn't feel anything. One of my concerns was that um, it would be up against my cervix. Like I said before, I've had issues where maybe something was pressing on my cervix for a long time and I didn't realize it. When I took it out, it was just like throbbing and hurting. So that's one of my concerns with this because I don't really know whether or not my cervix went into it or not. I just pushed it in there and am hopeful, fingers crossed, it went to where it was supposed to go. We'll find out shortly. You can't really know for sure whether or not it is in the right place until you've worn it for a little bit. So, um, like I said, I flipped the tag. So instead of tucking it or letting it drop, I flipped it because it seemed like a reasonable thing to do. And yeah, we'll see. With my period panties, I was just over those because my husband sent me an article saying that a lot of them have forever chemicals in them, which I had no clue about. So, and I'm sure the ones that I got off Amazon probably do because they were relatively cheap compared to the more name brand period panties. And so, who knows? The period panties, I also don't like that they have a smell after a while. Like, I've been doing really good about keeping them clean and making sure that I wash them really well and they get really good rinse. But I don't know. When it does happen, I don't like it. Like, when I use my period panties, I take them off, I rinse them out really, really good until the water runs clear, and then I spray them with back out, which is supposed to be a natural enzymes that eats organic material. So blood, pet urine, all these things is supposed to be good for. So I did that as like my routine for my period panties, and then I washed them in very little detergent, not a whole lot because I don't want it to get build up or anything on them. And then I give them an extra rinse in the washing machine. And then I let them air dry. So I'm really taking care to make sure I don't let them get funky, but it seems like it's inevitable after a while, from time to time. So I just don't like it. And like if they stink, then that means there's bacteria that's not getting out even though I'm doing all these things and maybe I need to soak them but I ain't trying to do all of that. Like, so I'm just gonna try these discs and I will be back with more. I'll probably check it right before bed and clean it and all the things, and I'll come back to you and let you know how that goes. And it is the end of day number 1. I did successfully get through a workout. At the beginning of my workout, I thought that I would possibly have to go to the bathroom and readjust it because I was feeling pressure, a little bit of pain, pinching, and I knew that it was probably in the wrong place. And recalling back to when I was experimenting with the menstrual cup, I remembered that my cervix is tilted to one side. So, and I didn't account for that when I put it in. So, it was feeling a little bit weird when I got to my class. But as the class went on, it seemed like it shifted in a way that made it feel better. So I didn't end up having to go and readjust it. But when I got home before my shower, I used the restroom. Also, I noticed that my stream of pee it wasn't coming out right. So like it was slower and it was like not in its regular line. It was weird. Anyway, so I knew that I probably didn't have it in right. Anyway, so um, when I wiped, there was spotting. So it was not leak proof because I didn't have it in right. And also, when I took it out, I was trying to do too much. So it was not mess free. Nothing to do with the design of the cup. It was all me because I was trying to see if I could get it out before it dumped. But I think that when you pull it out, you just need to let it dump automatically. And that's not what I was trying to do. I was trying to get it out completely and then let it dump. And that was not working well. So I would say, okay, so then the second time I put it in after cleaning it and all of that, I was able to put it in still the same way. And before I put it in, I did check to see where my cervix was because I had not done that. So I checked my cervix so I could put it in. And then I made sure this time I pushed it in as far as I could possibly push it because the first time I just stopped pushing it when it hit my pubic bone. Like when I felt it go up under my pubic bone, I didn't continue pushing it into my canal. So this time when it hit my pubic bone or tucked under my pubic bone, I continued to push it back into there. And then I also, like, you know how you do with a cup, take your finger to kind of make sure that it's sealed or whatever, or opened all the way. Not the same with a disc, but kind of the same concept. I put my finger in there and like tried to scoot it to the side that my cervix tends to sit on. And then I also tried to feel on that side and make sure that I didn't feel my cervix sitting outside of the disc. And it was kind of hard because the discs are bigger. It was a lot harder than when I have tried that with a cup. But I mean, I kind of was able to do it, and so far so good. I did not I haven't went to the bathroom since I put it back in, but I did take a shower and like dry it off and everything, and there was nothing on the towel or anything. So I think that it's going to be good, but another test. I'm trying to figure out, maybe I need to watch more videos, but I'm like, how is this going to not spill if it doesn't have a suction when I lay down? I'm probably going to put on a pair of period panties just to make sure, or put a towel down or something, because I'm a little bit nervous about this. But all the videos that I watched, people have had success and no leaks the next morning. So I'm hoping I'm one of those people, but just as a security blanket, I'm going to use reinforcements. So I would say day 1 of using my menstrual disc is a win. Second day of my period, which I guess by the time I got it in, it was like half of the second day was pretty much over, but it was still, the second day is still kind of a decent flow. So, there's a learning curve with everything, but it's going well. I will say that I feel a little bit of pressure in my rectum, but that could be from me doing a weightlifting class earlier. And with that said, any straining or pushing that I was doing with the heavy weight bar did not disengage the disc. It did not make it auto dump, which is what I was afraid of, because they were like, if you bear down, it'll auto dump. But I guess that's if you do that when you're on the toilet, it's supposed to auto dump. I have not experimented with that. I'm a little bit nervous to even try it, but I'm going to try it just so I can see if it actually works or not. Worst case scenario, it'll just flop out in the toilet, I guess, but gross. It did not do that in class, only just a little bit of leaking, but I will say that tomorrow I am sure it's going to be a lot better, because I think that I've got the placement right. Fingers crossed, and I will check back in tomorrow. I am back on day 3 of my menses and day 2 of wearing my Hello disc. And the last time I was here, I was going to bed, and I was going to check back in and let you know whether or not I had any issues overnight. And I am happy to report that I did not have any leaks. I did get up a few times throughout the night to use the restroom, and I don't know if that was because I drank a lot before bed. I don't really feel like I drank a lot, but I got up maybe 3 times to use the bathroom, and that could be because I had something pressing on my bladder. I'm not sure. My stream of pee actually was not weird. Or actually, yes, it was. Last night it was still like coming down really slow and stuff like that. So today, when I woke up and dumped it out, I readjusted and made sure again that it was back in there really, really well. I did have a little bit of spotting. One of those times I went to the restroom last night, and I don't know if that was because of like dumping it out, taking it out and everything coming out and then putting it back up there, and then that was just residual or what it was, but it was not a lot. It was very minimal. And I did end up I didn't wear period panties, but I put like a liner because I wasn't completely comfortable with just going willy-nilly. Anyways, last night also I felt it minimally, and I feel like every time I put it in I get better at it. So it is 5 p.m. right now, so I've gone all day, and I've changed it twice today. I just changed it again before leaving the house, and I didn't have any spotting throughout the whole day. No spotting. I have had relatively mess-free removals. Nothing to complain about or that was super gross or super messy or anything like that. A little bit on the fingers is kind of expected. To have absolutely nothing would be, I don't know, awesome, but the little bit that I got didn't bother me too much. And then just, you know, just having a process to get it in and making sure it stays slender, which I have not been able to do. So, but it's not painful to put it in, even if it opens up some as it's going in. But just like I said, with my tilted cervix, making sure it's cupping it right and that it is placed correctly and back far enough and all those things. Just getting into the routine and getting familiar with that is the biggest learning curve right now, which is not a lot because, like I said, with the cup, I let the cup outsmart me, honey. I could not outsmart the cup, so I gave up. But this seems to be working for me. I could definitely see how somebody could forget that it's in there. You don't feel it a whole lot if it's in there placed correctly. You might feel it sometimes depending on how in tune you are, but what I do feel is not like achy or like I need to go and readjust or put it in a different, you know, I don't feel like I need to go to the bathroom and take it out and then put it back in. I've been able to put it in, keep it in, and either it'll work itself out or, you know, I'll do it correctly and it won't have any issues. But like I said, this is day 3. It's not a super heavy day, but still enough to be able to give it a good test run. I have not had intercourse with it. I know that they said that you can. I'm not really interested in doing that. And I don't know that I trust it that much, but they say you can. So, and I've heard that from videos I watched that it works. So who knows? I may find out one day, but this cycle is not the cycle. I am going to end my review here, even though I have at least another day or 2 of my cycle. If anything significant comes up, I'll add it to the end of this video, but I'm feeling like the Hello Disc is a win. I have not had any big mishaps or things that I feel like I need to overcome with it. I'm very, very satisfied, especially coming from a horrible cup experience. I am a happy camper. I have to go through several cups and try different ones and all the things. To Period Nirvana for all the detailed information that she gives on her channel about the cups and the disc, so that I could make an informed decision and kind of go into it knowing what to do, what to expect, and all the things. Maybe I'll come back with another update if anything eventful comes up. But if not, this is me and my experience with the Hello Disc.